Hey guys, how's it going? And happy Friday. I hope all of you are doing good. And I'm hoping that this thunderstorm that's rolling in right now does not take my power out. So, as long as the power stays on, because the thunder's rolling and the lightning's striking out there. So, it's good to see all of you guys. And hopefully, all of you are staying dry because I think there's getting ready to be a big rain here in just a couple minutes. So, if you look at the title of this stream, I talked about ammo last week, and I want to show you guys some more ammo again this week. But will there be an ammo shortage in 2024? Some of you might believe yes. Some of you might believe no. So I look forward to all of the chat while we're live here and also in the comment section for anyone who may be watching on replay. Because there's a lot of stuff going on right now worldwide in the United States. Lots of validated reports of stuff that just doesn't quite seem right. However, and this is a good thing, by the way. However, as we sit here today, everything still seems like it's like okay or whatever. So I'm curious to see what all of you think, and I'll throw in some of my opinions along the way as well. But good to see all of you guys in the chat, and welcome anyone else who strolls on in while we're live here. Before we get going, I want to thank all of you guys for the many ways you help support the channel. Thank you so much to all of you guys who are supporters here as YouTube channel members, as well as on Patreon, as well as on Locals. Now, Locals is a different site, censorship free, where I do a bonus live stream every Saturday where I can actually touch guns live and do all kinds of stuff that we just can't do here on YouTube. In fact, I need to just sit here like hands up the whole entire stream, I guess, because even when we don't do that on YouTube, they can take us down, as they did a couple weeks ago, and maybe they will tonight. Maybe they won't, but make sure you check me out on other platforms who are not doing the things that tend to be going on here. Also, check out Myriad Social down there in the description. It's not only a censorship-free site, but it's uncensorable. This is like a social media site that's on the blockchain. They're not using big tech servers, nothing like that. In fact, it would be impossible for like the CEO themselves to actually delete your post there. You know, people say they want to be uncensored and they want to be able to talk about what they want and do what they want until the opportunity arises. Then people say, no, I think I'd rather just go with places where I can only say half of what I'd like to say, or maybe a quarter of what you'd like to say, or sometimes you can't say what you want to say at all on all of the popular big tech media sites. So make sure you check out Locals in the description. Check out Myriad Social. I have several different lists there that you can check out, including events. So I'm hoping to see some of you guys in Fowlerville tomorrow at the 2A Patriot 2A Day. I'm going to be speaking there. I hope to see some of my friends there as well. If you want more info on that, go to Myriad Social. You can just check out my post there. There's deals. There's all kinds of cool stuff. You don't even need an account, or you can make an account like really, really easy and post your own stuff and give me a friend's request and I'll follow you back. So definitely check out Myriad Social and Locals. And I'd like to also thank you guys who leave generous super chats on these Friday streams. And before we get going too much further, I do need to thank a couple people from previous streams. So if you go back 2 weeks ago, my stream was nuked. It was just taken off of YouTube 13 minutes in. Now, before I could read it, generous viewer of the channel who's left tons of super chats, but I want to thank him for everyone. QD had left a super chat right at the beginning of that stream. So if you're watching, QD, thank you. I didn't get a chance to tell you because that stream was nuked. Now, this is like the opposite, but the same person. Last Friday night, QD left a super chat wishing everybody a happy Mother's Day, and that was after I had already said goodbye, but the chat was still rolling. So thank you for those two super chats that I wasn't able to read on air, QD. Also, Cash App. I had Irish Rover in Florida and Rudy Fenney both left me some money in Cash App last weekend. Thank you so much. They left me a little extra because of my debit card situation. I'll give you guys a quick update and then we'll get into some of this ammo stuff. So I had fraud on my debit card, right? Last Friday. Finally got a hold of customer service. They closed my debit card, and there's a new one on the way that my wife said arrived today. I just haven't been home yet. So I've gone all week without a debit card and access to my checking account. As far as the fraudulent charges, where they had drained the money that's in there, I submitted a fraud request. The person on the phone just couldn't take care of it, I guess. So I'm still waiting to try to get my money back that was fraudulently stolen from my account. So thanks for all the well wishes, guys. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get my debit card this weekend and start using the account again and build it back up from a zero balance. So thank you for those Cash App donations. Irish Rover in Florida and Rudy Finney. And the link for my Cash App is down in the description in case anyone was wondering how they need to do that. So thanks, guys. So we were just talking, Mateo and I, on the phone before this live stream. And we were talking about an ammo company that I want to give a shout out to, and that would be RPM. That's Rockville Precision Munitions. They're in Middle Tennessee, and they're a small ammo company making a wide variety of loads. Anything from plinking ammo all the way up to high-end custom tailored loads, like for long range. You could specify to them you want something more geared for a bolt action instead of like a semi-auto, and the ammo would be made differently for things like that. Now, I told him, I said, I've been shouting out Rockville Precision Munitions for months and months and months on this channel. And then in the last week, there was a few people who tried to reach out to him to order some ammo. And I'm sure he'll get back to you guys when he gets a chance. The only problem is people are buying a lot of ammo right now, and Olight just stopped selling powder. So basically the conversation went something like this, and this is how I want to start this conversation here and see where you guys are at for the upcoming year, days, weeks, months. I don't know. You know, it's the old saying, you don't know what you don't know. And right now times are good, but there's really, really weird stuff going on. Mateo's like, it's funny, people wait to get a hold of someone when they're wondering about ammo after Olight stopped shipping powder out. I'm like, yeah, that is generally how it goes. So where do you guys think the gun community is at? You can answer for yourself. Where are you going to be at? What's your plans for if or when there is another ammo shortage this year? Look, there's going to be another one. It's not a matter of if, it's when. I thought we were going to see stuff drastically changing by now, but maybe not. Maybe not this year. Maybe never. Who knows? Here's how it typically goes. I'm not going to speak for anyone individually. I wouldn't mind maybe some of you guys telling me how you're thinking about it. But it usually goes something like this. Some insiders that have info that are like, we just heard about this going on. All right. Now, here's a letter that came out from Vista Outdoors saying Alliance no longer going to be shipping powder. And people kind of go, good to know, I guess. And then I think some people will say, yeah, right. Nah, if I can get ammo right this minute, then there's nothing going on right now or in the future. And then usually when something happens, it's slowly at first. Very, very slowly. Then suddenly, and I'm going to pin this to the screen right here. Mateo put a little quote here, a message from Olight, so you guys can read that. So it starts slowly, then like all of a sudden, and it's like the snowball rolling down the hill. As it rolls down, it collects more snow, gets more mass, gets more terminal velocity, and then it just keeps going faster and faster, and the faster it goes, the bigger and faster it goes. And then usually what happens is the gun community, shout out to all of the geniuses and people way smarter than me watching, because I'm not talking about you guys that watch my channel, obviously, but the gun community typically ain't that smart. And it shows its head time and time again. And the gun community is obviously pretty lazy, because with over 100 million gun owners nationwide, look, if any of them have even spent 1 minute, if they even literally acknowledged that it's their right, and it's their duty to throw off a tyrannical government, we'd have no gun control. We wouldn't even have to think about gun control ever again. If 100 million people even sneezed in the same general direction, it would blow all these tyrants right off their feet, and they wouldn't even consider treading on us. But yet here we are, where most of the time, the gun community, and again, not my viewers, I get it. You guys are like smart people because I read your chats and your comments every week. But for every one of you, there's 99.9% of all the rest, 999 out of 1,000 at least, maybe 9999 out of 10,000. If you want me to actually be more blunt about it, just do nothing. Literally do nothing. And that's why the fox is guarding the hen house, and that's why evil's prevailing, because evil always prevails when good men do nothing. I truly believe that. I mean, obviously, this is a battle of good versus evil. And I believe that a lot of the evil that this country's been doing for a long time to its own people, people like me and people like you, and to people throughout the world, I think the chickens are finally coming home to roost. You know, we're supposedly the world's policemen. Most of the United States just sits there and does absolutely nothing. Not just including, but especially the gun community generally. They're the most lethargic. They're the most apathetic. Just keep remembering what I'm saying here. There's over 100 million gun owners in this country. The fact that we have even a threat of a scintilla of gun control literally proves exactly what I'm saying here. Most of the world hates the United States of America, and most of the government in the United States of America hates you and hates every last one of you, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of your opinions as well. We make artillery that you could make 30,000 rounds of 9mm with per shell, and we send them to countries that have been in perpetual war, still are in perpetual war, and since it's perpetual war, probably always will be in war, different regions. Some of these aren't even countries legally, different places in the Middle East. No matter what, though, no matter what, the military-industrial complex must be fueled, and it must go on. And not usually, but it's always at your expense. You know, the United States is in a state of economic collapse, in my opinion. I mean, have you tried to buy something with your dollar lately? Your dollar doesn't go very far. You're taxed to no end, and there's more government regulations breathing down your neck every minute. And the United States of America has what's called the petrodollar, even though I think it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, actually. If it wasn't so sad, it wasn't so true, that the United States is trying to go completely off of petroleum with this so-called New Green Deal on the federal level. In the state of Michigan, we have our own New Green Deal where they're going to try to get natural gas and fuel prices through the roof to where you won't even be able to afford it before they finally actually just cut it off outright. Now, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good to be the head of a petrodollar when your country that has the petrodollar is trying to get rid of petroleum, but hardly any of this stuff makes any sense, actually. Actually, literally none of it makes sense. You'd have to be insane to even understand what's going on in Washington, D.C., and in probably all of your state capitals, actually. Some states are less worse than others. I completely understand that. I bet you the great state of Oklahoma is less worse than New York. I'm sure it is. I bet you the great state of South Carolina is a little less worse than Michigan. I have no doubt, but I guarantee you there's hardly a government man out there on any level that has your interest whatsoever. When we sit there and think about ammunition, and it makes me think of things like BRICS. BRICS is an alternate economic system. This is a conglomerate, a treaty, a group of countries that are trying to take on America and take on NATO. Now, you would be taught that these are the bad guys. Of course, obviously, because we have to be the good guys. And I understand that because I see a lot of good people in this chat, and I try to be good too, the best I can be. I need a lot of work, but I'm trying. But then you look at what this government does to its own people all the time. You guys know in 2 days you're going to be considered a dealer and need an FFL to lawfully transfer your property. Property rights are supposed to be protected by the Constitution. The right to keep and bear arms, well, it simply says shall not be infringed. Yet here we are. If your government wanted to license you with a fee every year, and they probably won't even grant you an FFL, even if you wanted one, actually, because they give out almost zero tabletop kitchen FFLs anymore. Maybe you're somebody like me where you're a landscaper. I've been installing a lot of boulders this week, a lot of river rock and a lot of mulch, and maybe that's what you want to do for a living, but maybe you also want to sell a gun here and there. Not according to Uncle Sam. So who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? I don't know anymore. I don't know who the I don't know who the good guys are, if I'm brutally honest with you. Find me a good guy in government. A good country. Can't seem to find one lately. I used to love the United States of America. I just can't find her anymore. I'm sitting on a piece of land, and some would say, you're living in the USA right now, but how could I be? How could I be where in the Constitution, which is supposed to be the supreme law of the land of the United States of America, obviously, it literally says so itself. So if I was living in the United States of America, just follow me for a minute here, if you've never thought about this. If I was living in the United States of America, the Constitution would be the supreme law of the land, wouldn't it be? And when the Constitution was amended, let's just say when it was amended the second time, back in 1789, ratified in 1791, the United States government would be forced to follow its own supreme law, which says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And that's the supreme law of the land in the United States. And that law doesn't grant you rights. No, these are natural rights. These are the laws of nature and of nature's God. This is what Thomas Jefferson wrote and the founding fathers signed. All men are created equal, and they're endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these, not limited to, but among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah. That's the United States of America when it declared its independence on the 4th of July, 1776. Just a few years later in 1803, Marbury v. Madison, for people who love Supreme Court precedent. You know, I think it's kind of funny in a way. And I kind of chuckle a little bit, but not too much because it's sad and it's true. But there's all these gun lawyers and internet lawyers out there, and they're like, this Supreme Court case will save us all. We have to wait for SCOTUS. Clarence Thomas will save us all. It's like, look. For people that like Supreme Court cases, Marbury v. Madison, 1803, all laws that are repugnant to the Constitution, those are void. Yet here we are. There's laws and rules that have full force and effect of law. Oh, yeah. More of them than you could ever even count. There's statutes, there's CFRs, codified regulations. But hold on to EDU, because I always get this comment. And I appreciate it when I get this comment. I really do. But that's why we're here, is to say how it really works. Not just put our head in the sand in an ignorantly blissful way. But they say 2A EDU, but the ATF can't make laws. And I'm like, well, I agree. Only Congress can make laws. That's what this Constitution says. See, I'm still trying to figure out where the heck I'm sitting right now, because it can't be the United States, because the United States Constitution says only Congress can make law, right? Yet these rules that have full force and effect of law, they still come. Do you guys remember a place called Ruby Ridge? You guys ever heard of Waco, Texas? The Branch Davidians? See, they still came in there, killed many, many women and children. When Randy Weaver's wife came out to surrender, armed with nothing but a newborn baby, a United States sniper, that you, or if you're young, your parents paid their salary to gun her down in cold blood, in my opinion, and maliciously, without a heart, without a soul, and outside the rule of law, in my opinion, obviously. Somebody just said wounded knee. Absolutely. Sure, you can trust your government. Just ask an Indian, right? They said, put your guns down and you'll be okay. And then they massacred them. I'm just barely scratching the surface of this. But hold on to AEDU. The ATF can't, but they just did. And 100 million gun owners did nothing and have done nothing. Like, have never done anything at all. And I'm 100% at this point. Never, ever, ever will. I'm going to get some people mad for saying that. Make sure you guys give a thumbs up. I saw my friend Lori DeVries reminding you guys to give a thumbs up a minute ago. What's happening, Lori? Nice to see you. I'm going to say it one more time. We, the people, have never done anything about this at all and never will. And I'm not a betting man, but I'd put it all on that bet. I wouldn't be afraid to lose, but I don't bet. I'm not giving any financial advice. So I'm sitting here thinking a minute. Who's the good guys? Who's the bad guys? Are the BRICS nations the bad guys? Probably. So that must mean we're the good guys, but who are we? And where are we at? Now we occupy a certain amount of space. You own a piece of land, do you? As long as you keep paying the taxes. Taxation's theft. Taxation's extortion. You don't own your land anymore. You don't own your house anymore if you don't pay the tax. You don't own an NFA item unless you pay the tax. Now, at one time, they tried to make a poll tax. You guys familiar with that? They tried to make a polling tax where people would have to pay some money to vote. They also tried to do basic aptitude tests and would make people fill out like questionnaires, like real basic. Make sure your IQ was above like 70 before you could vote. Both were ruled unconstitutional because you couldn't possibly put somebody through a test or charge them a fee to exercise their natural God-given right to vote, which actually isn't enumerated in the Bill of Rights, actually, but the Second Amendment is. And the Supreme Law of the land says shall not be infringed, yet you're taxed. You're taxed on every bit of firearms you buy, not just sales tax, but like an additional excise tax on all guns and ammo, additional excise tax, all of it, every last one. If you want to get yourself a tax stamp. Hey, if you want to mail a letter, you have to buy a stamp. You're literally getting extorted everywhere. Like 1,000-fold more than what the tea tax was when they dumped the tea in the harbor. But if you want to buy a tax stamp, and it is like a postage stamp, guys, you affix it to the paper. You have to pay a tax to be able to own lawfully certain firearms. And if you don't, you're looking at 10 years in prison and a couple $100,000 in fines. Now, you're not technically going to prison and getting fined because of a firearm you own in that case. You're actually going to prison because you didn't pay a tax. Have you guys heard of the classification AOW? It's called an any other weapon, and it's regulated by the National Firearms Act. If you don't pay that $5 tax, 10 years in prison, couple $100,000 in fines, and even if you're not found guilty, you're still screwed because the punishment's the process. You'll have to sell everything you know. You'll be a prohibited person the rest of your life. You'll be ostracized from society if you're luckier than Randy Weaver's son and dog and wife. Because that sniper murdered, that's the word I'm going to use. That's how I look at it. Murdered Randy Weaver's wife, and they say she was a loving wife and a great mom, and that little baby girl never got to meet her mom, but the baby girl's into horseback riding now, and she has some social media. I found her. That little girl's still alive, but her mom's not. You know, last weekend, happy Mother's Day last weekend. I'm very thankful for my mother, and I'm very thankful for my wife, who's the mother of my beautiful daughter, which is the main purpose of a beautiful wife and woman, is to have a beautiful daughter. And I'm so thankful. But it makes me almost want to cry thinking that little girl never got to meet her mother. She was gunned down by a government thug. Why? Not just because co-conspirators, inside government men, talked him into cutting a couple inches of the barrel off of a shotgun, which makes it less accurate, makes it less powerful, but it doesn't matter. Truth is treason in the empire of lies. Shut up, you're dumb. Who cares? There's a tax at play here. And your natural God-given right to keep and bear arms. But that little girl who's now an adult never got to say Happy Mother's Day to her mom. And that's a story that everybody knows about, but there's so many more that we don't know about. And if everybody doesn't know about this, that's why I'm talking about it right now. So all of that is to say, this is important what I'm talking about. I'm going to get to the ammo thing in just a minute. It always... Pursuing invariably, somebody will always come in on the replay. Shout out to all my replay watchers, by the way. Be like, get to the point. Can't this guy get to the point? I want to talk about ammo. And I'm like, yeah. And here we are. Dullards are going to dullard, and shallow people are going to be shallow. And if they take too deep of a dive, I guess they knock themselves silly and go into a coma. And that's just the way it is. So I don't know who the good guy is or the bad guy anymore, but China's part of BRICS. Okay, this is an alliance of nations. And like everything, we're dependent on basically everything from China, obviously. Most of our debt, our trillions in debt that we print at will, most of that's owned by China. And apparently most of the munitions industry is owned by China, I guess. Because there's a key ingredient to make gunpowder that, from what I understand, China is like either essentially or literally the only place in the world that makes it. And I've heard they're not really in the mood to sell it to the United States right now. Well, I mean, they're close allies with Russia. And we're sitting there sending like billions of dollars worth, like in very frequent intervals of many pieces of artillery, small arms, large arms, more gunpowder than you could ever even imagine is going up in poof every second right now. More gunpowder than you would need for your whole life is shelling Russia. And here's the crazy part, guys. I appreciate all of you guys who give the stream thumbs ups because they'll be back, right, Mateo? Some people get mad at me when I say this. They get mad, but they'll be back. Nice to see all you guys in the chat. Russia's going to win. I mean, come on. Does anyone disagree with me? I mean, Russia's won. There's no... We could send every last everything to Russia right now. Over to Russia. To Ukraine to fire at Russia. And all that's going to do is get us in literal World War III. Russia's won. Russia was always going to win against the Ukraine. And for what? For what? Ukraine isn't even going to have any more like adult males here soon. They actually barely have any right now. They've literally killed off like almost all of their own fighting age men. They're sending people even with certain mental handicaps out to fight right now. They're sending women out to fight war in the field. And by the way, I don't think women should be in the battlefield. I don't think women should be in the battlefield exchanging rounds and fighting because I don't think that's the role and I don't think that's the nature of things. And I completely think that that violates the laws of nature and of nature's God because women have a very, very important role in society. And in many cases, it's actually more important than men. Women are responsible for bearing our children so that we can have a next generation. So we can have enough military age fighting men when or if it's time. A man's supposed to fight to protect their family, supposed to fight to protect their country. And women are supposed to become impregnated by their man. Because all pregnancies happen that way, actually, contrary to what they might be trying to tell you. And women are supposed to produce offspring, the next generation. And they're supposed to nurture and take care of their family and take care of their husband while he's out busting his butt at work or in war or fighting. I wanted to get that out there, too, because there's this new thing going around where they're like, women can do every single thing a man can. except for they actually can't. And men can't do everything that a woman can. But they said they're sending all their women out into the battlefield. Because, see, as we fire artillery into Russia, Russia's firing artillery back. And it costs the United States somehow about 100 times more to make an artillery shell. It takes the United States about 100 times more to make an artillery shell than it does Russia. Well, of course. Everything this government does is like the most inefficient possible. So they're doing all this, and we continue to make more and more enemies worldwide. Follow the money, you guys are saying in the chat, and I agree. We make more and more enemies worldwide. That's where I think some of this gunpowder and component shortage is coming from. We also continue to use up all of our supplies and resources here. The ones that our own government hasn't outlawed yet. You remember when Obama outlawed the last lead smelting plant in the United States? Yeah. Where we only have a couple places in the whole country that even make primers anymore. We only have a couple places in the whole country that make powder anymore. Now, I don't know if my friend RPM is in here. I gave him a shout out earlier, Rockville Precision Munitions. I know he was in last stream's chat. If you're out there, man, say hi. And look, we usually do. I just haven't had a chance to look at the chat in a minute because I've been kind of going on a little bit of a soliloquy, right? That's what we'll call it. But I've talked to people that are in this business right now. And here's the weird part about it. Like, we are basically on the brink of or in a shortage right now, but we just don't know it yet. But I don't know if we'll ever know it. I don't know what's going to happen here. Because I literally thought by now ammo would have skyrocketed in price. There he is, Shop Rockville Rod Shop. There he is. Guys, ammo manufacturer in the house right here. We're going to look at some of his ammo. Ask him about this stuff. Ask him what's going on. Questions about stuff you're looking for. Look, guys, if you want more information on RPM, Rockville Precision Munitions, check out my locals community. There's going to be a post there as soon as this stream's done. Every Friday night I post it, where there's more info if you want to reach out to him after the stream and talk about ammo. Because we are on YouTube here. Don't forget that. Oh, geez. His name's Lee. The owner's Lee. So, Lee, how many times have we talked where it's like, oh, just got another 5% increase on components, 7% increase on components? How are you doing with the fact that Alliance not shipping powder anymore? Now, maybe people like Rockville and maybe big places, that produce ammo already had contracts where they have some stuff set in stone, but I know if you got to go to try to buy a pound or 5 right now, you're not going to be able to. Now, I made a post on locals about a week ago about Hodgdon, okay? And they've got this huge warning when you go to their site that says, look, guys, okay, look, you can buy, but like we're out of most of the stuff and we don't know how much longer it's going to be in stock and while supplies last and you're very limited and you agree to all of this that you're not going to get mad at us if it takes like weeks to get it or if it's out of stock. Like, just go there if you don't believe me. Rumor has it. I'm just going to say rumor has it because I don't have exact like little proof I can show you, but I've been talking to a lot of people. An insider told me a little bit earlier that Hodgdon in the near future is going to be cutting you way down on how much you can buy, like maybe as little as a pound. Maybe none at all. Maybe it's a pound for a little while, then maybe none. We have ammo coming in from all over the world. Okay, we have it coming from the United States, which is awesome. We have ammo coming from, Korea. We have ammo, weird stuff coming in from Kyrgyzstan, Azerbaijan, right? Czech Republic, I mean, we could go on and on. Once I start naming a couple countries, we should just name like 100 all over the world, but not from China and not from Russia, because both of those have been sanctioned by Bill Clinton in the early mid-90s and by the current former vice president a couple years ago. So you're not going to get your ammo from Russia. You're not going to get your ammo from China. And you may, right now you still can, you may or may not be able to in the future get your ammo from the United States. Now, here's what I think was interesting. This stuff's out of stock now, so nobody can stress out about it, right? Nobody can stress out about this because it's out of stock. Your problems are over. That's just stressful for a lot of people when this became available. No, not for me. I'm like ecstatic. $8.99 per 20. $10.99 per 20. Made the USA. No, it sold out quick. It was going to sell out no matter how many haters there were or weren't, obviously. But 7.62 by 39. Steel cased. It's range friendly. It has a copper jacket. People said, well, it's not $5 a box, so this is a ripoff and this is insanity. And I'm like, really though? Like, dude, it costs like $15 to eat at McDonald's, and I can't even stand McDonald's at all, but it's like $15 for a meal there. You get it large size, but that's probably not even enough to fill you up, and you probably shouldn't eat it at all. I'm just saying. Another thing you probably shouldn't eat because it's really bad for you, but I was looking this up just because in the gun and ammo community, everybody goes nuts if something goes up like 10%, okay? A 10-cent brick of ramen noodles, like the cheapest ones there are now 30 cents at Walmart. And the deluxe ones in the plastic tray with like the savory sauce that's in the packet, the liquid sauce, and a little bit of dehydrated vegetables. Again, this stuff's not good for you. I'm just telling you where we are. Okay. That went from like 50 cents up to $1.50 at Walmart. So if we're getting X39 for $9 for 20 rounds, and we're getting 5.56 for 8, 9, 10 different places. I mean, I believe RPM is going to get you in at about that 50 CPR or so, depending on how much you buy, if you're looking for some 5.56. Everything out there has gone up in price so much already. I can't believe ammo's as low as it is right now. Like, everything's nuts everywhere. I think what'll probably happen is this, and I hope nothing happens. I hope ammo just keeps getting cheaper, right? I really, really do. Guys, if you want more information on RPM, that's over on Locals, okay? That's a censorship-free site. I've just gotten kicked off of here, so Mateo, could you clean up the chat, please, of anything that's violating YouTube's terms? Because I'm being very, very succinct here that, look, shout out to RPM. Rockville Precision Munitions. If you want more information, that's over on Locals, not here on YouTube. This is not a place where we can broker or promote anything. We can't do it. Like, don't believe me? My stream literally got taken offline 2 weeks ago for me absolutely doing nothing wrong. So just want to remind you guys. I try to give subtle hints, but sometimes it's kind of like, ladies and gentlemen, we are on YouTube, which is a highly censored place that has very, very strict terms and conditions. Okay? So, if you guys want more information on RPM, Rockville Precision Munitions, make sure you check out my Locals post and Myriad.social, which are both censorship-free sites where we can go on and, talk more about that over there. And that has to be strictly enforced in the chat, please, Mateo. No exceptions, because this channel is on very, very thin ice right now. So thank you, guys. I appreciate that. It's called AI. It grooms everything. We're literally living in some kind of like hyperbolic world. Literally insane, right? What's happening, Josh Powell? How's it going, man? Make sure you guys go over and check out my events over on Myriad Social. Josh Powell is going to be speaking in Fowlerville, Michigan. I'm going to be there as well tomorrow, and I hope to see some of you guys. It's the 2A Patriot 2A Day. What do you guys think, though, for real? A lot of people have just joined the chat in the last few minutes. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Like, ammo's like actually super cheap right now compared to everything else. Here's the crazy thing. I don't know if anybody thought about anything like this, but we should think about this and not get like super depressed. We need to think smart. All right. If a box of ammo was $5 back in like 2019, now there was the Russian sanctions, so that adds a whole nother thing. So after all the Russian sanctions, after all the hyperinflation, why would people be surprised if it's $9? Okay. Here we go. Here's some RPM. Eric Johnson's got it right there in the chat. Ammo has not risen in price like food and fuel have. I know, I agree, but I think it's going to. Okay. I think it's going to. This should be, if you look at what it was in 2019 compared to now, this should be about $27, $28 a box. Go over to Locals, which is another site. There's a way that you can reach out and get more information about RPM and ask him yourself what this runs, but I guarantee you it's going to be better for you than 27 to 30 a box. And that's what it would be if it tripled like almost everything else has. What's happening, Jane? You're not going to be there tomorrow? I thought I was going to see you. You're one of the main ones I wanted to see there. Jeez. What's happening, Scott? How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a live stream in a long time. And yeah, nice to see you catch it live. And I hope you're doing good, man. Components have gone up in price to all the manufacturers several times. It just has. I think right now there's just kind of like, I don't know, there's a couple things going on. First of all, there's always a lot of apathy in the gun community unless or until there's a panic and then everybody fires up their jets full throttle. Seems the way it works, right? We're smart people, though. That's why we're trying to have these conversations before. And then if nothing happens, but we're buying it right, we're not going to get ripped off and we're not going to be in trouble. Guys, check out my Locals community, my Myriad Social. I'm posting deals on there all the time. If you're getting stuff for those deals, you're not going to go wrong. Even if nothing happens, you're not going to go wrong. But if something does happen with ammo, you're going to be like really, really thankful and really, really smart. Now, there's also a lot of people just with economic fatigue right now. People are just in economic fatigue from so many different ways. When it comes to their gun and shooting budgets, when it comes to their electric bill, their food, their just everything, their auto insurance going through the roof, still no tickets, still haven't been any accidents, auto insurance is still going through the roof. Okay. Some people would literally be homeless in a box so they can still train and shoot more. Very, very few people. Very, very few. A lot of people will put guns and ammo down lower on their list as everything else keeps skyrocketing and making it almost impossible for them to survive. Now, with that being the case, I think that's why we're still seeing ammo as low as it is right now. I think if the economy was rocking and rolling and people had a few dollars to fold, then I think we probably would already be in an ammo shortage right now. I think people are actually buying very little ammo as a whole. Now, not necessarily all of you. I know there's someone that's like, dude, I just bought like a couple thousand rounds yesterday. Good for you, actually. You want to take me shooting, by the way? Anyone that's buying tons of ammo right now, you want to take me out? Your treat, I'd love to join you. But As a whole, a lot of people aren't doing a whole lot, right? And I think that's why. Now, in the past, and I don't mean once in the past, I don't mean twice in the past, I mean like 10 times in the past. As soon as everyone starts to kind of notice that there's an ammo shortage, that prices are on the climb, okay, the supply can no longer keep up with demand, then it seems like people pull money from everywhere, from anywhere. It doesn't matter where or how it comes. They just buy it. And then that's where it's slowly at first, then all at once. Then the floodgates open. And I can remember this like happening probably 10 times since the mid 90s when I first started having the need to buy ammo. I don't know if it'll happen this time or not, actually. I imagine that we could get to a point, and I don't know if we're there yet. So let me know in the chat what you guys think. Are we there yet? Where people are just so down financially, their brains are just so cooked, and they're just so broke that even if there was a shortage, do you think people would still stay tapped out and not buy? I don't know. But times weren't exactly economically very good under Obama, and we had a couple of shortages under him where people still bought up as much as they possibly could. I don't know. Yeah, fun to learn. You're right. If it wasn't for a couple things, I probably would be a couple beautiful ladies. I probably would be living in a van down by the river. I'll tell you what, guys. I know I can't be the only one thinking that, but this country's really getting to the point where it's really not a place for a guy like me. You know, I love the United States of America. I love the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. After we got past the Bill of Rights, almost all of the amendments that have been written to the Constitution suck. Actually. Probably literally all of them, actually. In my opinion. But I don't know, man. I love the United States of America and the republic for which she stands, but wherever the hell I'm at right now, and I have no idea where I'm at right now, actually. Literally no clue. No clue what country this is I'm living in. Couldn't get me to explain it if you paid me $1 million coherently. Since this is a free stream from everyone, I'm obviously explaining it probably very incoherently, but all I know is this isn't the United States of America. And we shouldn't even have to think about whether components are drying up. Price increases from who? The military-industrial complex? Because we've gotten ourselves to the point where they have a monopoly, where they have an oligarchy, where there's these couple of big businesses that are too big to fail, that control everything, all of the components, all of the natural resources, that are dropping this stuff like it costs less than water on Russia from the Ukraine. And from a place that some people call Israel and some people call Gaza, we're sending all this stuff. And I don't know what to call either of them anymore. Because if you talk to one person and you call it this, they get butthurt and mad. If you call the other place something, then half the people get butthurt and mad. Then you flip it around and then the other half get butthurt and mad. I wish that the American people could get half as mad that shall not be infringed is an afterthought instead of the supreme law of the land. Then they get butthurt about different nations and nation states and tribes overseas. Well, 2AE to you, you don't sound much like your team Ukraine. You don't sound like much like your team Israel or we have to stand for Israel. Are you kidding me right now? I just said ramen noodles have tripled in price. I just see where, due to our messed up foreign policy, we have countries not even willing to ship us some of the key ingredients to make components for ammunition. Sure, in theory, I'd like to own an SPR, but I don't, because I'm not going to pay a $200 extortion tax. With all the problems we have here right now, where 90% of the chat is saying, dude, we're not buying ammo because nobody has any money. And I'm going to lose subscribers for saying this. Literally, I'll sit here as an American in the United States. They'll be back. They always come back. But I'm going to lose subscribers for saying, as an American who lives in the United States, that can't even recognize my own country anymore, it's so corrupt and so jackbooted, that I care more about America than any of these other countries. And people actually get mad at me because I'm supposed to be team this or team that. Well, maybe I'm just not a team player. I don't know. But I do know what the Declaration of Independence says, which talked about what the United States of America would be, and thankfully was at one time because we won. I do know what the Bill of Rights says and what the Constitution says. As far as the foreign policy of Israel and the foreign policy of the Ukraine, I couldn't even care less. Like, you couldn't even pay me to make me care less at this point, because look at a gallon of gas. You want to spend a little bit more than that? Look at a gallon of diesel fuel. Look at a box of ammo. Look how much just my internet bill's gone up to do these live streams. It's literally insanity. And I can't stand my government, but I do still love America, and lots of good people that I see in this chat right now. You know what else makes me sick? We're talking about maybe the potential for an ammo shortage in 2024. And you purchase out of your hard-earned dollar that they steal from you. They steal money from you, because that's what taxation is. It's literal theft out of the barrel of a gun. Like, literally, I'm not being hyperbolic. That's literally what it is. They steal from you. They reappropriate to all these countries throughout the world, but then they also buy a lot of ammo. And they would be you. You buy a lot of ammo. And I know a lot of you guys are like, no, dude, I'm telling you, I haven't been buying any ammo. No, all of you are buying lots of ammo. Unless you've never worked a day in your life. And unless you're severely disabled, then screw you. You can piss off too. Unless you're disabled, if you've never worked a day in your life, you can go fly a kite. But look, if you've ever worked or you are working, you're buying tons of ammo. Everyone in this chat is buying tons of ammo right now for the United States government. And did you know, when their ammo gets a few years old, not very old actually, you know what they do to it? They get rid of it. They dispose of it, and it usually gets incinerated. Don't believe me? Go look it up. I've gotten into this rabbit hole. A lot of you are buying lots of guns too. Did you know that? You're all buying a crap load of guns every year. But wait, 280 to you, I said I'm broke. I haven't been buying any guns. No, you're broke because you're buying so many guns and ammo for the United States government, for all of these different governments, for the military-industrial complex, for the order of the New World, whatever you want to call it. You can call it anything you want. I don't care. Just keep guessing. Maybe we'll get it right eventually. I don't know. And then when they don't want it anymore. Know what I said? When they don't need it anymore, because this stuff's still good stuff, okay? Irish Rover in Florida, I thanked you earlier for that Cash App last week. Thank you so much, man. I don't know if you were listening earlier, but thank you. And thank you, Rudy Fenny, if you're listening as well. This is perfectly good ammo. And we're talking about ammo shortages right now. We're talking about how RPM, he said he can still get components right now, but at an increased price. They're still bumping it up more and more. What if there was an influx of all these components that went directly to people like me, people like you, or that places like RPM could bid on and use it for their stuff? Thanks, Irish Rover. And the new debit card's in the mail today. I just haven't been home yet, and they still never put the money that was fraudulently stolen from me. Still haven't put that back in my account. I had to put in a case, and I don't know if I just haven't won it yet or if I'm not going to win it. I have no idea. Isn't this crazy? I'm sitting here talking about the government stealing all of our money and buying tons of guns and ammo that they literally incinerate when they're done with it. Unless Great Britain gets their hands on it, then they throw it in the English Channel. Don't believe me? Look at that. All the guns that are in the English Channel. And then some low-down scumbag thief, fraudster, stole my money out of my account. I'll have to figure out what tax form to fill out saying, don't tax me on that money, Uncle Sam, because it got stolen from me and I never even got to see it. Probably still have to pay taxes on it, right? I don't know. Well, I've ranted quite a bit tonight about how I'm ticked off that we even have to talk about the prospect of ammo shortage 2024, but we're all buying tons of guns and ammo right now. I promise you that, for our country and for many, many countries. Dude, this stuff is like 10 times newer than most of the ammo that you guys... Look, dude, this is like more fresh and like more reliable ammo than most of what you and me are buying and shooting. And you paid for it. And they destroy it. You know the old saying, preaching to the choir. I know I'm doing this. I know. But sometimes we just got to vent to each other. I know you guys need to, and so do I. I know everybody watching right now gets it. I know you guys do, but are we like the only ones? How's there 100 million gun owners? And every couple of years we have these shortages and crap. And we're literally buying ammo that's stolen from us, right? What's worse, the person that stole all the money from my checking account and used it on some online gambling site, or the government who stole the future money that's going to be in there to buy ammo to keep me safe, when I don't even want my government to keep me safe. I want to keep myself safe and just leave me the hell alone. Or that they're stealing my money to buy ammo and then incinerating it when they don't need it. Department of Education buys so many billion rounds and so many machine guns. United States Postal Service, Department of Agriculture. You better watch out about them invasive mites that come from China and all these places. Maybe if we buy enough 40 caliber rounds, we'll be able to ping, ping, ping all of these mites that are eating the crops, I guess. I guess that's why the Department of Agriculture needs so much ammo. The National Weather Service. Maybe if we shoot the snowflakes from the sky, we'll never get another blizzard again, I guess. But you know what the facts of the matter is? They don't need that much ammunition. I think they buy as much of it as they possibly can to get it out of the civilian supply so that we can't get it. Or so it drives the price up. So, again, I repeated myself, we can't get it because a lot of people can't afford to buy any ammo right now, let alone what they'd like to. And then they purposely just incinerate it. Now, if that was it, that would be terrible, but it's actually worse than that. Because you know you're paying the hourly wages of the people to run the incinerator. You know you bought and purchased that incinerator, and you know whatever fuel that they're using, because I guarantee you they're still using petrol fuels while they're going to try to force you into an electric car. And when you can't afford it, you'll just have to walk. But you're paying for the petroleum fuel that's firing that incinerator. Talk about a kick in the you-know-what. You're trying to buy some ammo to protect your family, to shoot with, to plink with, to compete with. Maybe you just want to buy it to look at it. Maybe you just want to buy it to look at it, right, RPM? Doesn't matter why. You can't buy much of your own. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy much of your own. Here's some RPM 556. But you're buying a lot for the government. paying for them to incinerate it, paying for the incinerator itself, the fuel to run the incinerator. You're paying for all the government vehicles to drive it there to get it incinerated. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Patrick Fellers, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. He says, I'll quote Brendan Fraser, I'll only gamble with my life, never my money. And that's from The Mummy in 1999. Yeah, I'll gamble you guys all the money in my personal checking account. How about all of that? Which is like $1.34. No, we're not doing any betting, YouTube. The algorithm just woke up. They're like, did he say he's betting? No. We're not actually doing any betting out here. But geez, oh Pete. Joe Schultz, thank you for the super chat, Joe. I appreciate it. He says, as a 21-year-old working in the trades, shout out to all the tradesmen out there, man. And living in Chattanooga, Tennessee, it's very hard to justify purchasing ammo just to protect my fiance and I. I know. And that's ammo prices like right now that actually aren't that expensive. Wow, think about that. They're actually not bad right now. I mean, they are because, like you just said, you said you're a working man, right? Well, the harder you work, that means you're taxed to no end. And I hope you and your lovely fiance are eating a lot better than this. But dude, even ramen noodles have tripled in price. Like literally, try to buy some bacon or a steak. None of us will be shooting for months if we actually try to buy a pound of bacon or a steak. Shoot, I was in the mood for Salisbury steak the other day and couldn't afford that because I decided to buy some more of the AAC 762 by 39. What's happening, Dale? Member for 36 months. Wow, that's a long time, man. Thank you for being a supporter for so long. He says, hey, everybody, looking forward to the 2A event. Yes, sir. If you guys want to know what event I'm talking about, head over to Myriad Social. The link's down in the description. You guys will see deals over there as well as events that I've posted. And that's what Dale's talking about. So I know everybody can't be as cool as me and Dale, but if you want to try to correct yourselves and be semi-cool, you can hang out with us tomorrow if you're in the area and if you're so inclined. Right, Dale? They'll get a little closer to being as cool as me and you, but if they come hang out with us, maybe, right? Maybe just a little bit. Don't know if anyone's shooting anymore, but if you are, and I'm going to have this out on the range like literally this next week. I wanted to this week, but I had to work a lot this week because I better win my fraud appeal. This is Infinity Targets. This thing's literally like huge. I made a community post with this as well as a torso that even shows all the organs. That 15% off sale is still going on right now. Check the link down in the description, which helps the channel a little bit, but it helps you even more by saving 15%. This is a very thick, self-healing rubber that you can just store outside or take it in with you if that's what you're into. And we're talking like 110 rounds or more per square inch before it gets shot out. You literally probably can't even afford the ammo it would take to like run this. So there you go. Check out Infinity Targets by Infinity Defense. The link is down there in the description. Also, some of you guys were interested in my community post that I made, both on locals. I don't want to knock out my, this is for if us H, you know what, hits the fan. This is my DuPont IMR 4227. This will keep me going for a couple of years, right? Right, Rockville Precision Munitions. Well, obviously for my 222, right? I shared this awesome mag loader by Patovax. Now, I don't know if you can get this case anymore because I have the old school version, but this is like an awesome loader for all of you that are still buying quite a few rounds and going to the range. I've had this loader a long time. Literally, we were able to keep 20 round YouTube approved magazines loaded with this thing while a bunch of us shot 1,000 rounds in less than an hour, like 3 separate times. And I'm holding it up upside down. But it looks good upside down too, doesn't it? This is an awesome loader. Check the link down in the description. It is on sale. And you literally just like, I did a video on the channel. You put the rounds in here, just kind of orient them all going the proper way. This is AR or AK mag. And you just like give it a shove and it goes right in there and loads it. Maybe I'll show you guys live, but it'd be actually probably hard to do because you need to just put it down on a table. But it might be hard for me to do it like up here in this orientation. But this is an awesome mag loader. You can see they have a little bit newer, like improved version than this out now. But this is the one I've had for a long time. And I like definitely highly recommend. Link for that and a bunch of awesome deals are down in the description. Let's see what else we have here. And I do want to read the comments afterwards and the chats because I want to know where you guys are at with this. It's so weird right now. Like there's literally like proof that we're embarking on a global gunpowder shortage. Components keep going up. My local gun shop, from their supplier, it went up like, was it 5%, 5 to 7%? A few weeks ago now, a couple weeks ago. And notice, I'm not telling you guys ammo is going to double in price in a week, in a month. I'm not telling you it's going to at all. I just wanted to have this conversation because if you buy it right, okay, if you buy it cheap and stack it deep, you're not going to go wrong. That's why you guys need to check out my locals deals all the time because I really try to help you guys. And that's how I keep myself replenished too. But no, I'm not wanting to fearmonger. I never want to fearmonger. I'm certainly not going to do that because I don't want to. But man, I have no idea how ammo hasn't skyrocketed yet. This is an election year. They're trying to put the president in prison. We've never had a president go to prison. They're still trying to right now as we speak. Maybe that would tick everybody off. I don't know what would get anybody mad anymore, really. Me? I think it was my friend Fonda Learn said, yeah, if things were different, 2A Edu would just go and live in a van down by the river. Yeah. I'm not a fan of either of them. I'm not a fan of the one that tells you if you elect me, I'm going to take your guns. And I'm not a fan of the one that says if you elect me, your 8-year assault on the Second Amendment's over and then bans bump stocks, which leads to all of this. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys. A lot of people don't like it when you're a 2A absolutist and a single issue voter. I couldn't care less about any of them right now that I know that's running, actually, because none of them support the Second Amendment. But at the same time, though, this is all things that could lead to a nation that's in tumult. How do we not have an ammo shortage right now? And I don't want one at all. So trust me on that. I want one as little as any of you guys do. I don't sell ammo. I'm not in the business. There'd be no reason I would want that. But how do we not have one right now? We just literally had like the largest conglomerate in the U.S. say we're no longer even going to ship regular people any powder. How is there a gunpowder shortage where they won't even ship powder anymore to people like me and people like you? Hodgdon has, that's Olight, Hodgdon has all these warnings and disclaimers on their site. And I had an insider tell me they're getting ready to make a mega move soon, where you're either be able to get very little or none at all. Yet over on locals, I've been posting some of the best deals that I've seen in a long, long time. And when you factor in inflation, cheaper than they were pre-Flugaloo. Talking to RPM, Rockville Precision Munitions, he can still get. But all of his components are going up. But here's the crazy thing, and I would never want to speak for him, but last time I talked to him, which was a couple weeks ago, so maybe things have changed since then, but as of a couple weeks ago, he still hadn't raised his price. Or if he did, it wasn't enough for me to notice. You know what I'm saying? maybe it went up like so little, it was just like within rounding. You know what I mean, right? I don't know. Like, how do you fill this and then make this work and launch a projectile if you can't buy this? Does anyone know what brass this is? What round it's for? Kent with a super chat and a channel member said, got in late, but thank you, 2A, for the magazine you sent me. Oh, no problem, man. I hope this helps with some ammo fund. It definitely will help, and I was giving you that as a gift. You didn't need to give me one back, but thank you, Kent, for the 5.56. And I'm going to show Kent something here since he's a 5.56 guy. No price increases yet. Don't know how he's doing it. I have no clue. I don't know how any of these are doing it. Okay, Rob Morris. There you go. That's a plausible scenario, man. You might be right. I'm just saying might because I don't know. My head's spinning with all this. Rob might be right. He probably is. He says foreign ammo is still coming in. That's why. You know? It's weird, though, man. It's weird. Weird stuff going on right now. Let me see if I can find something here to show my friend Kent that you guys might like as well. I'm looking for a very particular type. Here we go. This is the ever popular. We'll take a quick look at this. Okay. All right. Now, this is what we call, what do we call this, Mateo? This is what I like to call this. This is for Kent, because he says he's a 5.56 man, so we'll show you guys this real quick. This is what we call the soft point, all right? This is what we call this, well, they call this many things, actually. Oh, no, Rob Morris, my locals whips that like crazy, actually. Like stuff I post over there and on Myriad Social, yeah. Some people call this the soft point. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to do it this week, what I did last week, but I even tried to, you know what I mean? I can tell you guys what this is. And maybe some of you guys will know who I'm talking about. Maybe some of you guys won't. We call this the soft point, right? 792 by 33. Otherwise known as 8mm Kurs. Now, when you think of 8mm Kurs or short, what gun do you think about? Because I think about a very particular gun and actually a very particular person when I look at this piece of brass. Because see, here's the deal, guys. Life sucks or life's great and then you die. And an old friend of mine who's no longer with us, he went by the Hoff, Richard Hoffman, BWE Firearms. Not only had a Sturmgewehr, 44, the Storm Rifle, 44, or the MP machine pistol, 44. We're talking one of the best gunsmiths, the Uzi guy that knew more about Uzis than anybody in the whole world, including Israel, would have to call him when they needed help. It's a true story. And I know there's certainly a lot more left of his memory than a piece of brass, but I keep this piece of brass here because, first of all, you don't often get a chance to shoot a Sturmgewehr, like a real one. You know what I mean? Like an actual real one in its correct configuration. But you don't often have a guy that, you know, he was a buddy of mine. Not my best friend, actually. Didn't even know him that long, but to show you how cool he was, his name was Richard Hoffman, BWE Firearms. Really, really funny guy. Really cool guy to hang out with. Met him. We hung out for the day. Seemed to hit it off just fine. And he just started giving me full mags of ammo to dump through his Sturmgewehr 44. And I had a lot of fun, both shooting that rifle and spending time with, at that time, my new friend that I would never ever see again because he died. So that's why I keep a piece of 8mm Kurz brass sitting here, because it's not any brass. It's a piece of brass that he had reloaded and let me shoot out of one of his prized guns that I'll never, ever, ever own, like no matter what. Somebody was wondering something about, what do they call this, guys? I think they call it the soft point. See, the camera even has a hard time focusing. There we go. Nice hunting ammo. Here's a model of this soft point hunting ammo right here. For all the 5.56 guys. Is that the soft point? No, the tip's not lead. No, the tip's not lead, guys. No, sir. It absolutely is not lead. There is 0 lead in this whole projectile. I can promise you there's no lead in it whatsoever. What's happening, Vince Metzger? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's exactly like those. Oh, I see. Okay. You said, I thought it had a fluted chamber. I don't see the corresponding stripes on the cartridge. Here's the deal, man. This was the only gun there that shot this round. And I actually literally shot the gun and then picked up the brass afterwards. So the internet experts can scrutinize this at home if they want. But the crazy thing is, like, I'm like literally me, not like a friend of a friend, or like I slept at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Like, I actually shot this through an STG 44 and then picked it up off the ground like afterwards. So there you go. I thought I said that earlier, but if I didn't say that earlier, yeah, it's always good to say it again, right? And there's actually a YouTube short of me shooting it as well on this channel. Let me see what else I have in here. What do you guys think? They say not to shoot this infinite defense, infinity target. I'm telling you guys, this deal is like hotter than a firecracker on the 4th of July. So check the link in the description. There's just a little caveat. It can handle up to 50 BMG. Just don't shoot it with hollow points or slugs. Not good to shoot any type of rubber target with hollow points, actually. But what do you guys think it'll do with this? Again, I don't know what to call that. I forget what it's called. I mean, I'm not an ammo expert, guys. I literally know barely anything about ammo at all. But this stuff that some people, I think that's what Mateo told me to call it. He said, just call it the soft point, right? I wonder if this will make it through that target or not. They say it's an extremely weak ammo. What's up? What's up, DLD After Dark? Nice to see you, man. How you doing? I am going to be running some through an AK for sure. I was actually waiting for my new PSA AKM 101 to make it, but like the day I ordered it, it went on back order. So I'm still waiting. But I do have some other 5.56 AKs if I don't feel like waiting too much longer, right? See, they call it the soft point Right, Mateo? Ooh, for those with ED issues, they can refer to it as the full tip. Ooh, ooh. I had somebody recently call it that actually the other day. The full tip, they said. Wow. Oh, geez. Oh man, I'm trying to stay composed for the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2A EDU show. Am I acting presidential yet? I don't know if it'll make it. So some people call it different things. Some people, Mateo said, just call it the soft point. Or some people call it the full tip, right? But there's no lead in it. That's the thing. It's a lead-free projectile. Right, Shop Rockville? How about this, guys? Here's what we need to do. What's IROC? What's up, IROC? SS85. How you doing, man? Dude, there's a couple people that came in the chat tonight that have been like family in this channel that I have not seen in like a couple years. We saw Scott Plagman earlier, IROC, SS85, and tons of other people who are like family. Just like these guys, like I literally haven't seen in like a couple years. What's up, Fluffy Bunny? More information on the soft point and the other RPM ammo. As soon as I'm done with this stream, there's going to be a post over on locals, or there's one right now if you go read the one that I posted last Friday. So yeah. I don't know. Here's what we need to do, guys. I don't know for sure. Now the guy that I got the ammo from, RPM, he says it can go through 1/4 inch AR 500 steel. All right. AR 500 steel. That's actually like a crazy feat. But I'm not sure if it's going to make it through this infinity target. What do you think, Mateo? I don't think it can do it. So here's what we all need to do. We're not going to vote this week. We're going to vote next week. Everybody in this chat right now, all right? Come on, guys. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. And you guys need to correct yourselves with some proper range targets. So everyone's going to go follow that link down in the description. Right now, you're going to buy one of these infinity targets. Save 15% off. Use the 2A EDU link. You feel great about yourself. Then, next week, after everybody has theirs in hand, then we come back and hold a vote. I'm not trying to shill targets, guys. You just all need to buy one, and you have to use my link when you do it. But besides that, then all of us are going to go shoot some of this soft point through this, and we'll see if it can make the penetration. I actually don't know if it will. Now, here's the thing. Lee from RPM, he's a buddy of mine. He's a cool dude. But I'm going to have to give an honest review. If the soft point, or as Mateo said, the full tip, if the full tip can't make it through this rubber target, I'm going to have to tell you guys about it. But we'll see if it can make it through there or not. I don't know. We'll tell you the truth, whether it does or doesn't, though. Yeah, that ain't that right. What's happened to G23? Look at this guy. He just said 2A EDU. Are we all using your credit card and your link? Dude, talk about like Johnny come lately. Go back and listen to the beginning of the stream, my man. Listen to last week's stream. Wow. No, actually, I could give you my credit card right now. And it'd be worth absolutely zero because a fraudster stole all my money. And my debit card just got sent to my house. And I have not won my appeal. So, yeah. You're all going to use my card, all right. Man, you guys are spicy tonight. Guys, they fraudulently took all the money out of my checking account. Remember this? They're sending a new debit card in the mail. And I have no idea if I'm going to win my fraud case or not. But other than that, no, I know you guys come in later. I'm just messing with you, G23. Because some of you guys come in halfway through the stream and all that. But yeah, that literally just happened. I mean, I would pay you guys to watch this stream if I could afford to. Would the price be right then? Rockville says I have my doubts if it would. Look, guys, I'm going to give you an honest review. What do you guys think of this? This is like brand new. You can't buy these right now, but you can tomorrow. You guys familiar with this? Any thoughts? If you guys want me to, I can take it out of the box. I'll tell you what else is pretty cool, actually. Any of you guys have one of these? This is like a sweet, sweet keychain light. If you guys want to know more info about this light, I do have an Olight store link and a discount code. So, Olight flashlights. I seriously love this thing. I use it like 2-3 times every night. Check that out as well. Anyone familiar? What do you know about it? I know that's why you said it, G23. Hey, you guys can use my card. You wouldn't even be able to buy ramen noodles. Actually, you could. You could probably buy one of the 30-cent bricks, one or two of those, but you can't buy the deluxe one with vegetables and the savory sauce, because I literally was doing some price checking, and that's like $1.50 at Walmart, and I think there's $1.36 in my personal checking account, and I'm hoping I win that appeal, even though I've had an appeal in for a week. Ugh. G23, if you think I need one of those, they've never reached out to me, so I have no idea if I need one or not. But no, this is a really cool little Olight light. I actually wish I had a coupon code when I bought this, because I spent $20 for it, but you don't have to if you use the link down in the description. You only have to spend like 18. But yeah, it's rechargeable. See how this works, guys? I'll show you this light because I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to see this. Like, one person said they like it, but not one person said they want to see it. If you don't, that's okay. I can look at it later. You remember how this goes, Mateo? Done a lot of PSA stuff. Everyone's like, dude, you need to get a BCA. You need to get a BCA. Then I get the BCA, and everybody's like, oh, we don't care about them. Okay. Then I'm like, dude, Streamlight flashlights, which I really, really like. And everybody's like, dude, why don't you review any Olights? We want to see the Olights. We want to see the Olights. Finally, I'm like, all right, I guess. Literally bought this with my own money. Like, they did not send this to me for free, this flashlight. I didn't even have a coupon code at that time to use. So I get the Olight. Now I get the Olight, and everybody's like, now you need this other brand. So, if there's stuff that I need. But the crazy thing is, if I would have bought the other brand, then they would have said, we need to see the Olight. It's like, only stuff that I don't have, I need, and stuff that I do need, that I do have, I don't. Ugh. Yeah, send me some of those guys if you want me to check those out. See, everyone's like, you need to. No, Mateo knows what I'm talking about. Like, you can't even make this up. 2A Edu. You showed a PSA AR. We only want to see the Bear Creek. Then I actually get a Bear Creek, and everyone's like, never heard of her. Now you only need this other one. I used to talk about the Streamlight flashlights. I used to talk about the PowerTech flashlights. Love PowerTech flashlights, by the way. They're awesome lights. And everyone's like, who cares about it? You need to get this. Then I get this. And it's another brand. You know what I'm saying? But no, this is USB. You literally just plug this into your USB. Here's a little protector. You put it on your key ring. All right. If another company has a competitor to this, I would be interested in reviewing it. Because it's just so handy. So, like, this is literally like in your ignition. You need to find something in the truck. You just pull it out. And it's just always on until you magnetically put it back in its little keeper. It lasts about 30 minutes, which is a lot for a teeny flashlight like this. You can literally, like, put it in your mouth as you're under there trying to, like, work on the car for a minute or whatever, and you can still talk. So that's pretty cool. And these things are literally like $20. But code 2AEDU saves you 10%. Fluffy Bunny says, I'd like to see a review of the... Okay, so he's talking about this RDS here. Some people dropped videos today, but I think too often so many of them just sent for products. I trust you more. You guys are going to see an unboxing and like initial review tomorrow, just so you guys can like see it and know about it. And then I need to get it out to the range and actually use it. And then I'll let you guys know. It has a lifetime warranty. I don't know if it's the best RDS or not. Actually, I don't. But it's brand new. So I thought I'd show it to you guys beforehand. What's up, GD Bacon? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. Thanks for being a channel member for so long. And long time no see. Thank you. Okay, a couple people just said they do want to see it. All right, I'll show you guys. What's happening, Dwayne? What's up, Lucky Dog 350X? Raymond's treatment for low blood pressure. How's it going, Gort? No, I'm just saying, like, if you look at the prices of it, like, even Raymond's tripled in price. What's up, Jason Maseko? Nice to see you, man. You know what's going to happen, right, Mateo? As soon as I pull this out of the box, everyone's say, but, 2A EDU. You need to instead show a Gideon. And then I'll say, hold on a minute. Oh. That was a yawn, by the way. I'll go, yawn. Guys, this is the Gideon Alpha. And then they'll say, no. We don't want to see the Gideon anymore. We want to see the Shubidanometer at a pressure site. All right, let's see what's in here. Ooh, hold on a minute. Ooh, wait, what's this? I think this will be a good loading for me to test this new site. Look what I just found here. I just got sidetracked. Here's some RPM. 178 grain, 308 SMK. Ooh, let's put some hair on your chest. I'm wondering if I test this site, okay, by shooting it with a 178 grain, 308 SMK, if it'll be durable enough. Here's what I don't get. Something like new like this comes out, all right? And like, you can't even make this stuff up, but I'm not joking, guys. Like, this whole world's literally gone crazy. And here's how I'm going to prove. Here's how I'm going to prove this, all right? Right, Ace McLean? What's up, Ray Pinkerton? Nice to see you guys. What's up, Mike McClune? There he is. Mike McClune and Ace McLean almost remind me of each other. Well, just like when you say their name real quick. What's up, Maverick, man? Another guy long time no see. Wow, look at all you guys tonight. So some people are like, dude, a lot of guys did a review of this the first day when it came out. Well, it hasn't come out yet. It comes out tomorrow. Okay. And they're like, dude, they just had 100% positive review. So I can understand why you might think to yourself, can you trust it or not? All right. And then there's people like, dude, this is the most honest review. So I go to this guy's channel to look at his review of this new O site. This is called the O site. The Olight O site. And, you know, I'm watching it. I'm like, he's doing a pretty good job. Not the best job, but he's doing a pretty good job. Probably better than I would do, obviously. He has more subs than I do. So, obviously, now, I'm watching, and then he's like, then he sets it down on a rock and picks up like a 30-pound boulder and drops the boulder on it, and it crushes it. And then that's used for like the thumbnail and the hype. So, is there anything out there? Is there literally anything out there whatsoever in between? It's good no matter what out of the box, because people say that's what the usual suspects are, right? Or whatever people were saying tonight. So I was just kind of skimming the chat. And then, like, you take, like, a boulder. Guys, I know more about boulders than probably any gun tuber out there, because I've literally moved probably 30,000 pounds in boulders in the last 72 hours. Like, I've literally been making like boulder walls. And it's in a enclosed area by a pool. So the one's too heavy for me to pick up, I have to roll them in place. And then when they get down to where they're only 100 pounds, 150 pounds, or even 200 pounds, but not too many of those, but pick them up and just heave them. I literally make boulder walls for a living. Cut grass, landscaping, mulch, lots of mulch lately. I cut down a tree the other day. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at these boulders. Trust me, I know boulders, right? And I'm like, the test for this is, so everyone's like, well, these are all the show reviews. And I get it. Trust me, I get it why people would say that. And then he sets it on top of a boulder, and then he drops a boulder on it, and it breaks it. And I'm like, have I lost my mind? Is that the review? Like, do you have to drop it with a boulder? Or do you just tell everybody it's perfect? Or like, what do you do? What if it is perfect? Then would no one believe me because it was? Or would I have to literally drop like a 30, 40 pound boulder on it to prove that it wasn't good? So what do we have here? This is an RMR footprint. You can see the 2 through holes for mounting as I hit my camera there, as well as the 2 little milled out areas for the recoil stops, which don't get me into that pet peeve again. Most of these gun manufacturers now on their slides, they make such diminutive little recoil stops that it like doesn't even really do anything, right? So it's made out of T7075 aluminum. RMR footprint. It's got a pretty big window in it. It really does. But the optic itself, I would note, is actually like huge too. If you want my initial thoughts, probably bigger than I would like it to be. But I can't touch guns while I'm live, so you're just going to have to take my word for it right now, how large it is. It has like 12 different brightness settings. Which it always looks funny when you're looking through a camera, but you guys can see it there. This is a red dot. They also have green, but this is Olight's first entrance to this type of product here. You would call it an RDS or a GDS. Have to speak in very cryptic codes. Now, here's the kind of a twist, okay? Here's the twist that people might not be familiar yet. But you guys probably already watched the other videos, so I won't get into this too in depth. I get it. No one's going to watch my video because I'm not dropping a boulder on it and stuff. Because I often have boulders fall on my gun, like every... No, actually, wait. That's never happened to me. Even once. Patrick Fellers just chimed in. Thanks for another super chat, man. Hope I can catch you before you go to bed. He says, one last donation for your channel, good sir. Wife wants attention. Good night, all. Well, you have a good night, sir. A good night, wink, wink. And give her all the attention that you can. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat, man. So what makes this a little different than most of these RDS things, it comes with a silica pack. Now, this is also known as desiccant. What this does is it takes ambient moisture and removes it. See? Very nice product. Multilingual on the packaging. It has a slight dimple texture to the packaging, but I wouldn't call it rough. But I wouldn't call it smooth. The blue is almost close to the 2A EDU blue. In fact, from a distance, it looks like it is, but not quite. So I would say on the color of the ink, it probably gets about a 9. Not a 10, though. Because only I can get a 10. Perfection only happens once in your life. Do not eat. So it gets a plus on, since it's not edible, it'll help keep you from having a craving for it in the middle of the night. What's up, Harry Grimley? Overall, It's not too heavy, but it's not too light. I'm trying to think of how this would make my follow-up shots. Might reduce recoil a little bit, but if it dries out too much, it could dry out the moisture content in the powder. Am I doing a good job, guys, for the review so far? But this is what it came with that made it a little bit different than most of the stuff that I've come with. It almost feels like a paper consistency. It almost feels like a plastic consistency. And I was getting ready to give this a low review, low marks, until I just reminded myself yet again that the color blue is quite, I mean, it's pretty close. So, yeah. I recommend one of these desiccant packs. Can't get this specific desiccant pack yet, but you will tomorrow. There's a link in the description. Help save you a little bit. Yeah. Hopefully that was an interesting review. Hopefully all of you guys liked it. Now, as far as the boring thing, so here's the RDS, but it comes with this cover. Now, here's the interesting thing. This isn't the bottom load battery. It's actually not a top load battery either. And it's actually not even a side load battery. And there is no solar panel on it either. This is a cover that charges, as you can see right here. This is charging it, and it's currently at like 50%. There's a little button on the side of the... So this is basically how this works. Charging protective cover. So you could have it mounted or not, whatever you're into. And this cover is going to be sitting there charging it. It doesn't blink the whole time, which is actually fine with me. You hit the button, it'll show you the status. Now you can charge the cover, which is the dock or charging station, via USB-C. And once your cover is fully charged, they say it can charge the RDS up to like 5 times. So this is a rechargeable RDS, and there's also the GDS version via this little contact surface here on the top. What do you guys think? Good idea, bad idea? No, I can't touch guns while I'm live, but if you could picture this on the firearm and then that on top, it's going to be pretty big. Now, you're not going to shoot it, obviously, with this on top, but I don't know. With a really big window, it's going to give you a little more of a generous sighting area, which why would that matter? Well, it may or may not matter because I don't really like to look at the glass itself when I'm using a dot. I'd rather look at just the dot itself and pretend the glass and frame are not there. Well, when you're firing a gun under recoil, the dot's going to want to move around on you. So, depending on how weak you are, or if you're even weaker than that, and your gun moves around a lot, your 9mm moves around a lot, because is there any other caliber? Oh, there's 45 ACP. Right, there you guys go. RPM. But having that bigger sight window is going to be able to help you keep that dot within frame or help you find it again a little bit quicker, right? So, what do you guys think? Any initial thoughts? Hopefully by my local stream tomorrow night, I actually have this mounted to a firearm because I can't do that on YouTube. But yeah, that's how it kind of stows away and then charges. Let's see how much charge there is in my actual cover because I have not charged this yet. This is brand new. Like, you can't get this quite yet, but you can tomorrow. Ooh, my charging station's almost out of juice. I need to recharge this for sure. It's rechargeable, which sounds cool. But then, like, the obvious I thought about was, yeah, but other ones will last like 50,000 hours. Or 40,000 or even 25,000, or like the lowest one I can think of Well, there's like really, really crappy stuff you can buy on Wish. If you want to use a Wish optic for the range for fun and you're fine with it going down on you, then that's cool. I would not protect my family or defend my life with a Wish level optic. I'll just say that. But anything that has any kind of brand at all to it, a lot of these last a long time on just a little button saw. So, I don't know. But it is pretty cool, though, because it is something that's innovative. Like, you don't see this every day. I mean, you guys have a lot of combined knowledge. Does anybody know, like, of another optic that works like this? I don't know. It's big. It is big, which that's kind of like a plus or a minus. It just depends what you think about it. Some people won't like that the footprint of it's so big. Other people are going to like that because, again, that more generous sight window. Yeah. I don't know. Really, like, it's hard for, like, anything. Really, like, not a lot of this new stuff impresses me too much. Like, I'm impressed, like, when I meet a good person because they're, like, truly, truly hard to find. That impresses me. When I see a good politician, like my favorite state representative, Jamie Thompson, that impresses me because there's not many of them out there. Trust me. The fact that you guys want to just sit and hang out and with me every Friday night impresses the crap out of me, and I'm lucky because there's lots of very, very good people who hang out here. But like stuff like this is kind of just like, it's hard to really impress me too much. But I'd like to share information with you guys. I'll give you a quick example. Just before I started this stream, somebody left me a comment. Right here, a guy named Sick and Tired came in 5 hours ago on my range review of my PSA AR 556 lightweight MOE EPT. I had a lot of fun doing that video, actually. And this is the comment he left. Like, down to earth guy teaching some of us clueless. He puts that in all caps, guys. Great video. Thank you. So I am excited to review this for all of you because people want to know. And the first half of the stream was reminding all of us how we're taxed to no end, ammo's too expensive, food's too expensive, and our government hates us. Probably wants all of us to die, in my opinion, right? So it's probably hard for people to afford to decide which type of RDS or GDS. Speaking in code, guys, we are on the world's largest algorithmic form of text censorship. But I don't know. I'm excited just to kind of see what it does for that reason alone. Because of the comment that guy left. And maybe it'll help save somebody some money. Because this is certainly priced right, especially with that new 2A EDU code. So it might save somebody money there if that's what they're into. If they decide it's not for them, well, then it also helped them save because they got to see this. You guys are seeing some aspects of it right now. I mean, as much as we can, since we can't touch guns on YouTube during a live stream. But yeah, I mean, it feels well made. I don't know. I haven't dropped it yet. This is like literally brand new. And I work like a lot, so haven't had a lot of free time in the last week. 70T7075 aluminum. Usually like super junky off-brand stuff's like 6061. You know? Will it survive a boulder? I don't know. Apparently, according to a video, I guess not. Do I even care about that, though? Probably not. We will see. I think it's interesting. Someone just said a battery that needs a battery or something equivalency to that. I know. I get it. I know. But like we recharge everything else. I know a lot of people have been using their flashlights forever. I've had a lot of them over the years. This is like my new favorite one, though. I'm not even joking. If you guys are broke right now, but like want something that's really, really nice, like check the link in the description. Use my code. You can get one of these flashlights for $18. And I literally use this like all the time. Ace McLean with a super chat. Thanks, Ace. I appreciate it. He says, dude, I totally loved your review of the silica desiccant package. He said the whole reason he left the super chat. Okay. The only reason he left the super chat and why this is his favorite channel is because I was the first person to have the balls to review a desiccant pack. That's what the super chat says. Now let me read you the alternate version of what's actually on the screen. He says, dude, I'd like to see you review Tac Pack. I love Tac Pack and the new one called Tactical Medical Box. Not really familiar with those products. Like I've heard of Tac Pack before, but I don't know a lot about it. So we'll see. I don't know if that's something I'd be into or not, to be honest, but I will look into it further. Like I've heard of Tac Pack, and I think years ago I've seen a couple people do videos, but I'm not an expert on it. What's up, Willie Banks? Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Scott Plagman, before finding two-way EDU, my Pew knowledge had stopped in the early 90s. Feel like a dinosaur with flintlocks. No, dude, early 90s and back is good, dude. See, my man Scott's like, fine wine just keeps getting better with age, right? I ain't getting any younger, I'll tell you guys that. I had a birthday 17 days ago. Did I even tell you guys that? I might have. The dial looks all right, though. It looks terrible through a camera, obviously, but like IRL, I mean, it's a dot. It's round. I mean, it's red. Yeah. TAC is a monthly subscription. What's up, Ross77? Nice to see you, man. Jeez, look at all these good people in here tonight. Good night, Jane. I hope to see you soon. And maybe I'll read the chat and find out why I won't see you tomorrow, but I hope you're okay. Like, you're okay, aren't you, Jane? I just read your one chat, and then you said you weren't going to be there tomorrow. You probably explain why. I'll catch up later, I promise. I'm just, there's more of you guys than me, right? There he is, Pillbox Bunker. How you doing, man? Am I going to see you tomorrow? Dude, if I'm not going to get to see Pillbox or Jane tomorrow, man, I guess I'll get to see. I mean, I'll see Josh Powell, I guess. No, Josh Powell's cool. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Josh. I'm going to see Dale tomorrow. I'm going to see Dale, I guess. You know what I mean, Dale. Without Jane there. No, I'm looking forward to seeing Dale and hopefully Cheryl. Hopefully we'll see, I don't know. Maybe we'll see Pillbox. Maybe we won't. Maybe you guys will see me. Maybe you won't. David throwing in some advice. What's happening, David? How you doing? He says, buying up ammo at a steady stream, especially when there isn't a run on ammo, is a good idea. Yes, and yes. And that was the whole theme of tonight. I just wanted to rant about how much everything sucks. And I think you guys sometimes need that too. And then I'm like, guys, it's somehow, I have no idea how, but ammo is actually like a bargain if you factor in inflation. So if you guys didn't listen to me, listen to my man David here. He says, have the stuff sitting in a safe or on your shelf for harder times. It's a good thing. I agree. I'm trying to help you guys with tons of awesome deals. So definitely check out my locals community where I will be streaming tomorrow night. What's happening, Bill Alexander? Nice to see you, man. And thank you. Now, Mateo says, if that Olight can withstand, hold on a minute, full auto on an M2, otherwise known as the Madus, it might be good enough for me to EDC. Now, I'm going to one-up you. Sorry, Mateo, but I have to call you out as a shill. Hold on, guys. Hold on, though. No, hold on. Mateo's my friend, but we got to call him out, especially because he's a good friend of the channel. He only wants to test it on the M2 Browning machine gun, the Madus, but that's not going to be enough of a review for people on the internet. So, if you subscribe to the Two-Way Edu channel, make sure you subscribe to the Mateo channel. I want to see Mateo have triple the subscribers of someone else I know that's busting their butt making videos. You know, I like to see someone who does no videos at all be more of an influencer than somebody who's putting up hundreds of videos. Trust me. I do actually mean that too. Now, Mateo's just going to put it on the Madus. If you guys were born at night, or especially last night, go look it up. Nah, that ain't what the internet needs, my man. I'm going to put it on a Madus. And then we're going to throw the whole Madus with this on there, on the ground. And then we're going to run it over with the military vehicle that the Madus used to be mounted to. And if the Madus was mounted in a chopper, we are going to crash the chopper. I'm going to call my buddy Flying Rich. Flying Rich, we need you for a video. He's only crashed like 36 airplanes, guys. But he's still alive. And we're literally going to mount this to the Madus, throw it out of the airplane, the helicopter. Then we're going to crash the helicopter into it. Dude, I'm going to get to 100,000 subscribers saying stuff like that, Mateo. I guarantee it. No, I'm serious though, guys. Go. I promise you he won't clog up your feed on YouTube, okay? Your feed will not get clogged up. Just go subscribe to the Mateo channel right now. It's like literally like zero effort. It's kind of like a little inside competition joke. But I want to see Mateo with more subs than somebody that we have like a little, how do we word this? A little friendly fodder with right now. I think that'd be funny. That'd be a good thing, though, actually. But Mateo actually does do a lot of content, if you think about it. He did the ballistics test for the AAC black tip. He runs all of the security and interference and scheduling and all kinds of other stuff and doesn't make a penny for the 2A EDU channel. So go give him a sub. America the Free just came in with a huge super chat. Thanks so much, man. $50. Thank you. He says, love you, brother. Keep on keeping on. Well, nice to see you, dude. Speaking of, there's like just so many people in here that have been like watching this channel forever, including you. So thank you. I appreciate your support on here and other sites. And I will try my best. Keep on keeping on. It sounds simple till you go to try to find yourself a thing of ramen noodles. You guys know what I mean, right? The fancy ramen noodles, the ones that, like, I think it literally says on the package savory sauce, and there's like the dehydrated vegetables. Yeah, that's $1.50. Wow. But since I'm bought and I'm paid for by real small companies, you probably never heard of them. DuPont. No, I'm not sponsored by DuPont, actually. RPM sent this to me. Speaking of which, so shout out to RPM. That's Rockville Precision Munitions. There's another post on locals if you want to know more. I bet you since I got one of these pre-release, what do you think, Mike McClune? I think I can now afford a... Let's go straight with the minigun. Right, G23, Rockville? I mean, clearly people that are, bought and paid for. Are you kidding me? I'm going to test this with my GE minigun on an A10 Warthog tank killer. I'll tell you how many, Mike McClune. I'm going to jump off here in 1 second, guys, but this is a very important question. This is a question I get all the time. But before I answer this question, I'm going to tell you guys the most popular question I always get. People say 2A EDU. I was with you at first. I liked your shotgun video. I liked your Taurus G2C video. And I even liked your recent Michigan gun rates video. But why do you call him the current former vice president? I'm like, oh, the one that's occupying the White House right now? Well, thank you for that question. I love that question. And they say, well, sir, why do you call him the current former vice president? And I'm like, well, let me do the math. Let me think about it for a while. And then I come up with the answer because it's an easy answer. It's actually the easiest thing you're going to have to answer for the rest of your life. I call him the current former vice president because he is the current former vice president, obviously. I lead an effective strategy to mobilize, shooting it out of dash and pressure. I mean, duh. Just like peas and carrots. Now, that's the question that I get the most, that I love to answer the most. Here's the second most popular question. We're going to read this, and then I'll see some of you guys tomorrow. I'll see the rest in real life. What do the new kids call it nowadays, McClune? IRL. Right, Harry Grimley? I'll see you guys IRL tomorrow. You have to use all these sayings. RDS, IRL, Schubert and I'm national pressure. I'll see some of you young hip kids tomorrow, IRL. I'll see the rest of you guys on locals. Check out Myriad Social. Links down there in the description. Now, this is a good question. And I love the question, and thank you for the question. Do I sound like one of those guys testifying in front of Congress? I was wondering if anyone would get where I was heading with that. He says, how many bananas are in a metric fudge ton? Asking for a friend. I actually know the answer to that question, and there's only one way you're going to find it. Actually, luckily for you guys, there's several ways you can find it. You can find the answer to true success in life and make yourself excellent, almost as excellent as me, by checking out Infinity Targets. Links down there in the description. 15% off sale right now. You can answer that question and find excellence if you find, and like, I'm not joking about anything I'm saying here. Like, this part's serious. 100%. My favorite mag loader for AR or AK. Links also down there in the description. Make sure you check out locals. For a teeny morsel of excellence, if you join for free, and you'll improve yourself a little bit, or you can improve yourself a lot, actually, as a supporter on locals. You can save 10% off on flashlights and things like this with the link down in the description. And if and only if you only always use all the 2A EDU affiliate links and buy with vigor and buy awesome, then you may be able to answer that question that Mike asked. So there you guys go. With that, I will see you guys soon. I'm looking forward to reading all of the comments from the live chat and in the comments on the replay and see what the heck's going on with ammo. And I hope things stay good, but we need to have these talks sometimes right now because I don't want to see any of my friends caught with their pants down. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching and have a good one. And God bless you, Jason, and God bless everybody. And stay frosty. What's happening, Randy Smith? I know I already said bye, guys, but look at all these good people in here. David said that was actually one of his more coherent thoughts. Wow. Give me a break. No, he's right, though. I like this David guy tonight. Jeez, there he is. Eggerizer. What's happening, dude? I'm getting off, guys. Just lots of good people in here. More good people in here than I can count. What's up, Mr. C? Good night, man. Good night, fun to learn. I will see you later. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal and Rob Morris. And guys, I said like I'm not with the military industrial complex and all these other countries that I'm supposed to be like rah, rah, rah. So please listen to Harry at the last second. And don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. But you can smash it once. Don't smash it twice or 3 times. If you know what I'm saying. Just don't smash it twice. Once or 3 times, your choice. Ooh. Talked about the current former vice president trying to figure out how to turn this darn thing off. Talk about losing IQ points. Jeez. Look at this guy.